What up? What up? It's your boy Jordan, and you know what time it is. We're here to talk about the textbook, the good old media ethics at work. So today, I'm talking about chapter 15, which is free speech, official pressure. During this chapter, they discuss a story that took place in the University of Minnesota that involved the Minnesota Daily, which is their college paper. Excuse me. So this took place in 2009. During that summer, an intern named Catherine Lim wanted the chance to show that she had what it takes to write actual articles for the paper. So, excuse me, I'm sorry. During that time frame, she got the chance to interview this program called the Study of the U.S. Institute for Student Leaders, which was a program that consisted of 20 foreign exchange students from Northern Africa. And she decided to interview one of those people in the program in order to kind of give spotlight to the whole organization, kind of like finding a representative for the whole program. And she chose 23-year-old Tunisian student Ashraf. During their one-on-one interview, he talks about where he comes from, his homeland, growing up, stuff like that in that area. And they went through with it. Catherine made sure to get consent to make sure that he understood that this was going on paper, to make sure that everything he was talking about was okay to put down. He said okay, and the story was published. But the issue came right after the publishing, because it turned out that the government wanted them to take it down by either taking out his name or taking down the article altogether, because it turned out that they believed that the article was a threat to his safety and his family's safety due to the fact that he was talking about some very passionate and critical views of his country in a negative aspect, because he was speaking on the fact that he believes that his government and education system in his homeland is just not where it needs to be and kind of unsatisfactory, and the leadership overall is just not what it should be for the people. And due to those comments, they felt like he could be endangering himself or endangering his family. And during this time, online news was, or online newspapers, online articles was still a kind of fresh format of media when it came to ethics and stuff. So ethics are very loose, especially for the Minnesota Daily. They always kind of believed, once it's out, it's kind of too late because it's already exposed to people. And there were few instances beforehand where people had asked for their names to get taken down from the article or whatever for personal reasons, and the paper refused. But this scenario was different because someone's actual life might have been in danger, and the family involved could be endangered also, So in the end, they decided to kind of meet halfway. Instead of taking his name down altogether, they took off his last name, so it was just Ashraf. So that way, you would have to do a lot of research in order to know specifically which Ashraf said this, and that way it would take away from knowing the family name, so that way the family would be in danger. And they also set a policy for the company that whatever source you're speaking to, make it very clear that what your intentions are for the interview. So you're trying to get information from a source, you have to let them know. It's mandatory to let them know that it's going on a newspaper, it's going online, this is how we plan to use it. So no one is left in the dark, and they know the possibilities of what could happen with sharing this information. As far as my thoughts on this, I feel like the protection of the source will always be more important than the story itself. With this being said, I'm glad that they decided not to ignore the warning and decided to protect Ashraf. But I closed the book. I shouldn't have. But the chief and editor, her name was Holly Miller, I believe. She was talking about an example about one client, or or one source from a article ago, they requested that they took his name off because I think it was an article about gambling, and they believed it was kind of holding him back. He believed that the article was holding him back from certain job opportunities and stuff like that, but they refused to do so, being for the fact that the article was already out. But I feel like in any case scenario, if there's a moment where your source can't live the way that they need to or the way that they used to, for the fact that they were they helped you out get a story, I feel like the least you can do is make sure that their name is protected. So overall, I just believe that whenever important things or certain topics are brought up, sensitive topics like this one, before this story even comes out, you need to figure out what ways can I ensure that this person's protection. And yeah, I guess that's really the main thing I have about it. Always protect the source, no matter what the story is. And yeah, that's all I had to say for today. Thank you for checking out yet another textbook review, and I'll see you in the next video.